to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
This fucks up my plan. This is fucking bullshit. Okay? These fucking assholes, these fucking assholes! The fuck is their problem, man? This is fucking typical!
Yeah, it's just a coincidence that you were talking about the Jack and Triumph show, and I'm here. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, the guy who makes all those unlistenable podcasts over at smodcast.com, and you're listening to the Two Strangers, One Podcast. This is podcasting.
You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes or on the Stitcher app for Android devices. Please visit twostrangersonepodcast.net. Now, here's Chris Colon and Paul Pasquillo.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
And oh boy, Paul, I've been having issues with my internet, so we're actually recording an episode live, or almost live, in your serial killer basement.
Yes, I'm going to lock you down here after we're done.
So, for fans of the Toonami Faithful podcast, so they talk about locking people in basements. I think I'm going to be the next victim. I had my headphones on, but I have to take them off because there is a slight delay. We haven't recorded an episode like this in about 80 episodes, because I think you the first two episodes you recorded with me back in my old apartment, and it's been over 2 years. It was 80 episodes in 2 years. It should have been. Let me see. If we did a weekly episode, it would have been 100. It would have been 100 episodes or 200. 52 weeks. But whatever. So here we are.
We got to hurry this up so I can strap you to the basement and kill you later.
And so, once again, thank you for having me in your lovely home, even if it's in the basement. But it's I've been going through issues at my job. I at the beginning of this episode, I'm going to play a clip, and I don't know exactly where it's from. I'm assuming it's from American Psycho with Christian Bale, and it's like, these motherfuckers, it fucks up my plans or whatever. And I couldn't have a more accurate video depict my week. We recorded this. The last time we recorded this, it was my first day back from work after I went to Comic-Con, and I've been getting the fucking runaround from my fucking boss, telling me, we're going to look into it, and our district managers, I have to talk to the district manager, and all this other bullshit. They've been promising me hours, and here I am, year number 2. I've been at the same employer. Now, mind you, and I should stress this also, I've never taken a sick day. Right. I don't take sick days. Now, has there been days where they've given me off where, usually they go, I'll say, like with Comic-Con, I said, look, I needed 4 days off. Boom, they gave me 4 days off for Comic-Con. And not that they gave me off, they just, they arranged my schedule where I didn't have to come in for 4 days, so they got other people to come in. And but I've never taken a sick day. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a human being. I come in late, I come in late, not all the time, but I mean, and when I say late, I mean 10 minutes isn't late. 15 minutes, in my opinion, 15 minutes is not late.
If one of my employees did that shit, I'd probably write him up. So.
Well, I mean, but you know what it is? Okay, I come in late, but when I walk in the door, I'm there to work. I don't fucking take smoke breaks. I don't fucking goof off on my phone. I don't, as opposed to my other, and I don't want to talk shit about my coworkers. Well, the people I'm talking about people who don't work there anymore. Because like I said, one person quit, and the other person, if you listen to the podcast, the last episode, one person got fired recently, and one person quit. So when I'm talking shit about my coworkers, I'm talking about those people. Not the people that I actually have to see every day. But, I don't go off for a fucking smoke break every 20 fucking minutes. I don't goof off on my phone. I don't go to fucking use the bathroom when I'm disappeared and I'm gone for fucking half an hour. When I'm working, I'm working. And anybody you've been to my store, people who've worked a day or so in my store where they usually work in another store and they're covering for someone's shift. Where I work, my store is so different than every other store in the chain. I won't mention the name because I don't want to get fucking fired saying, you're disparaging the name of the company on the internet, because that is a policy like you sign off on. And I've never said the name of where I work. I mean, I'm pretty sure people put together where I work, but I've never said it. And I defy anyone to go back and listen to. Go ahead, feel free to listen to the old episodes and see if I mentioned where I work, because that only counts for us with the numbers.
By the way, if you pay me enough money, I might tell you where he works. I'm poor. Come on, I'll tell you some money, whatever. Actually, wait. No, I'll give it to Chris, and then we'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm so fucking broke. I mean, so I've been without an internet. without my cell phone. And now I have my daughter, like right now, thank you to your lovely wife. She's babysitting Raven right now as we record this, just so I can, actually sit down, because I only have my daughter. My only times I can record are like on my days off. Right now was without fucking internet. I mean, and then, I don't think you want to come over to my fucking shitty bachelor pad at fucking 10 o'clock at night, and I just, so, thank you. I want to put on record saying thank you for your wife for babysitting Raven as we record this, which is fun because, she has her daughter and they've been playing and they've been getting along. So that's pretty awesome. But I've been without my phone, and that's what's killing me, like not being without my phone, because I'm worried, like if something goes on in school or something like that. Now, not luckily, but they have the mom's phone number. So if there's an emergency, actually, mom is the first contact. I'm the second contact. So if there was an issue, they'd be calling mom first anyway.
They do that with my kid too. They call her first, even though I've told them several times, look, you need to make a phone. If something goes wrong and my kid's causing problems, I need a phone call, because guess what? I'm the one that's going to come in and take care of business. She's working, okay? So call me.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough where the mom works afternoon. So if there's an issue, mom will show up.
Well, and then see, that's the other thing too, is I end up finding this out through her, and I'm just like, really? You couldn't give me like an email? Like, actually, to be honest with you, like the teachers that my son has are supposed to email me every single week on Friday and tell me how he's been doing. Haven't gotten an email in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I'm not too happy about that, and they're gonna get it from me. Gotcha. I'm gonna say to them, hello, joint custody here. I would like to know what's going on with my kid. Yeah. Because if there's something going wrong, I want to be able to take care of that situation immediately. I've done that before. My son acted up last year. I went into his school, and I'm like, I could have done it in front of the whole class and whatever. But me and the teacher, we took Logan down into another room, and we had a conversation. And I told him, I said, I told you I was going to come in here. Did you think I was going to come in here? No. What do you think about that? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, do this again, and I'm going to yell at you in front of the class. And for the rest of that whole time that he was at that school, he was good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough right now where my daughter has, and if I'm assuming this is everybody in the class, I don't think it's just my daughter, where she gets we get a letter, we get a thing, she has like this folder where she has to keep her homework in, and then they have, there's a piece of paper with a happy face, and not, a face where the mouth is going straight ahead, and a frowny face. So at least I get a daily, luckily her teacher right now is good with that. So I know when she has a happy day, when she has a medium day, and the occasional sore day, whatever, the sad day, which, Well,
I actually have it. I have, there's something called an IEP, and basically, when your kid's getting services, they have to follow what's called an IEP. And in that IEP, I have that if the homework's not done, I need to have it on the weekend, and it needs to get done. I don't care if it's late. I don't care if it's overdue. It needs to get done, and it will return to you on Monday, whether or not you want to accept it or not. He needs to learn to make sure that he gets his homework done. Okay. And I've told him that, and I haven't received any homework, so I assume that everything's being done. But there again, I'm not getting an email, I'm not getting a phone call, so it's like, okay, so are we good, or are something going on, And it's not like, they had like a parent-teacher conference thing the other day. I never received a letter about that.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they usually send me stuff like that. They told the mother, but I never received anything. So it's like, hello?
Well, luckily, once again, I guess I've just been very lucky that, my daughter, they put in the folder, they put the, open house this Thursday night. And unfortunately, the last open house they had, it was a night that I was working. And by the time I saw the letter, it was way too late for me to ask my child.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if I have to work, I'm going to work. I can't afford it. Like, I can't just be like, oh yeah, by the way, I got a teacher's conference. No. I'm going to, if there's a problem, I'll go talk, and we'll figure out a time, we'll sit down and figure out the situation. But there again, you're supposed to be sending me emails every single week. There's a reason for that. Yeah. Because I want to make sure that my son is doing everything correctly. I have this all in writing. So right now I can make a phone call to the principal and be like, look, I have this in writing for them to email me every single week. I'm not getting an email every single week. Now, do I need to go call my lawyer, or are we going to take care of the situation? I'm not trying to be a dick. Yeah. I'm not trying to be mean. I just want to know how my son is doing every single week. Because the problem is that my son's at a crucial point where his writing needs to be a lot better. His math is good. He just... he's a typical boy. Oh, I don't know how to do this. And then really, after you coax him a little bit, he's like, he does it. You know, and it's like, come on,
Gotcha.
like he knows how to do it. He just doesn't want to do it. You know, so and you know that's where I'm like, I need you guys to communicate with me so I can communicate back to you what's going on, because the problem is that there's going to be situations where my son is doing something and I need to make sure that you know that, so that way you can react in the appropriate way to do it. And you know, he's in a better school than where he was, but at the same time, I don't think they realize how serious it is and how serious I can get about this. And I'm about to take my foot and shove it up their ass in about 2 seconds, because I'm getting really fed up with it. I may even make a phone call to the principal tomorrow. I haven't thought about that yet, but I might just do that and be like, hey, I've told them I need an email every single week. I know I keep saying this, but it is what it is. You know, I need this every single week. They were supposed to do this. Why am I not receiving that email? Okay. Do I need to bring in my papers that say I have joint custody? Better yet, do I have to come in here with my lawyer?
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's bad enough that, you know, if you remember, I had to send the police in to try to get my kid and they wouldn't do anything, even though I had a court order. You know, it's like, this court order doesn't expire. It's what it is. It's the court order is in place until we change it to something else. So you need to file the court order. And if you're not going to file the court order, then guess what? I can have your badge for that. Yeah. And I should have probably went after them, honestly, because really it is a court order. And it's written by a judge. They're told what to do, and they didn't do it. Yeah. So...
Yeah, so let's move on to how bad my job sucks. Because I was kind of like, while you are talking, it's like I remember like, so right now they won't give me enough hours. They keep me at about 34 hours a week. And what pisses me off is that when I clock in at my job, you clock in on a computer. You use your thumbprint to clock into the goddamn computer. So it's me. So when I see the information, it says full-time employee. You know, it says FT, full-time. And it just infuriates me that every time, you know, they go, so, okay, once again, for those who didn't listen to the last episode or whatever, I've been working at my job for 2 years. My first year, they had given me this bullshit story. Oh, well, you don't work enough hours to qualify for vacation, you know. And I'm like, okay. And you know what? And I sat back and I fucking ate it. I said, okay, you know what? You're right. Okay, you know, I don't know. And I work in a union store. I should fucking call my union steward. But I don't know how fucking effective that's going to be.
Well, and that's what you should do. You should take whatever measure you need to, within company parameters. Obviously, you shouldn't like come in with a machete, but give me my fucking vacation time, bitch. No.
And once again, for people who follow the show, I asked to transfer out of my store back in January. I said, I want to get the fuck out of the stores because I can't deal with these people. I can't deal with the fucking shoplifting. I can't deal with the fucking, with the panhandlers. I can't deal with the fucking drunken bums who come in all day, every day. And so my boss said, look, could you do me a favor? Just stick around for a couple of months because we're going to do the remodel. And, you know, back in May, June, there was the remodel and I had gotten tons of overtime. And he said, oh, you know, when you do the remodel, that's going to up your hours, you know, and then that's really going to, you know, it's going to look good when it's time for you, you know, for you to hit the hours that you need for you to get vacation. And so here we go. Another year's come and gone. I mean, shit, I asked for that transfer back in January. And here we are in fucking October, mid-October. And, you know, the remodel's been over since June. And they haven't transferred me out. And, you know, what had happened was I was supposed to be training the guy that's my replacement. And unfortunately, one person got fired. One person quit. So now I got 2 more positions that I need to get filled before I could even transfer the fuck out of the store. And what pisses me off is that you guys make my schedule. I don't sit back. I don't fucking walk into the office once a week and go, hey, I'm going to work this day and that day and this day. And I'm going to work from noon to 9 or whatever. Right. You know, you guys make my schedule. So how is it you're saying I don't have enough hours? Well, if you're making my schedule and you're saying I'm not making enough hours, you're saying fuck you. You're saying, you know, we're going to keep you below whatever mandatory things. And okay, being 15 minutes late every now and then, I'm not fucking losing all this vacation time because I'm fucking 15 minutes late twice a week or something like that. Or whatever, you know, okay, that's whatever. But, you know, and okay, and that being said, I may be late, but mind you, I'm also scheduled to fucking be out the door at 9:15. I'm never out the door at 9:15. Fucking, you know, I'd fucking push an old lady into traffic to be out of work at 9:15. You know what I'm saying? I'm usually at the end of the night. I don't get out of my job till like 10 o'clock because I'm spending 45 minutes fixing other people's fucking issues Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, on a day where I'm there most of the day, there aren't problems. You know, because I do all the financial work, I do all the paperwork, and I count down the drawers, and I do all the bullshit. So it's like, you know, don't give me shit about being a little late once or twice a week when I'm way past my schedule every day. And once again, how am I not getting enough hours if I'm there fucking 45 minutes every day over schedule? Right. You know, I'm so fucking frustrated. And so, you know, it finally has come to a head where, you know, I hit the end of the grace period because I had my cell phone bill due, I had my cable bill due, and I was reaching the end of my grace period, and then this fucking money doesn't come in. So I'm so fucking pissed off that everything, you know, and it couldn't happen at a worst possible time. And, you know, and of course, you know, I did what most naturally a lot of people do. You know, I reached out to family and stuff like that. I said, look, could I borrow a couple bucks? And, you know, right now, everybody in my family's, you know, everybody's fucking feeling it. Everybody's going through issues right now financially. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, you know, people, you know, it's not like they don't want to give me the money. It's, I can't give you the money because I don't, you know, you can't get blood from a fucking stone. I can't let you borrow something that I don't have. Right. And so, but, you know, I mean, with the phone, the good thing is that my phone does call out. So if there's an emergency, if there's a 911 emergency, I can call out. Right. And then with the internet, I've been going to the Irondequoit Library. And I don't know, you know, Irondequoit here is a suburb. You know, it's just outside the city, but luckily I live on the edge of the city leading to Irondequoit. Mm-hmm. So, and for the long-term listeners of the show, I mean, before you became a co-host, I was doing a show with this girl named Jennifer. And I remember we were discussing this when they were talking about closing the library in East Irondequoit. And, you know, East Irondequoit was always kind of like the ghetto area. You know, I mean, it's the suburbs, but it's the ghetto part of the suburbs. Let's be real here. Right. And so they shut it down, and now they opened up a library at the like where the town hall is, okay, now here comes Raven coming to say hi. Hey, Raven, we're recording down here right now. But you look beautiful. You look beautiful, baby. Tell Kelsey thank you for doing your nails, and your hair looks very pretty. Okay.
All right, make sure you close the door up there, okay?
Yeah. So the kitty don't come running down.
Yes, please.
That's really high. What are you doing?
We're recording. We're recording right now.
What?
So head back upstairs, okay? Thank you. Okay, and that was a little break from from Raven. But so I've been going to the Irondequoit Mall. The Irondequoit Library. And oh, it's so nice. Because the one in East Irondequoit was a fucking shithole.
You're talking about the one across... No, so you're not talking about the one that's across from Culveridge.
No, this one's on Titus and Kingsbridge, I guess would be the one.
Kings Highway or something?
Kings Highway, yeah, Kings Highway. And so...
Oh, yeah, I know where that is. I've seen that before. Yeah,
it is brand new. Because the building... I mean, I remember when the East Ridge Irondequoit Library... And, of course, this is fucking thrilling podcasting for people who don't live in Rochester.
They're like, shut the fuck up.
But, it's nice where, like, I could actually sit in a building where, you know... I mean, of course, I would like to have internet, and I would like to be sitting in my own underwear at home. But, you know...
Yeah, you're not allowed to be in the underwear. Right?
Sitting going to the public library and dealing with their internet, and it's not bad. The upload speed's a bit of a pain in the ass because I've been trying to upload episodes, the video episodes, and once again, you can listen to the old episodes. If you haven't found older episodes on the Podomatic site, our old site, or on iTunes or on Stitcher, you can watch them on YouTube. So I've been trying to upload the videos, but it takes fucking forever for the videos to upload. It's weird. I could download. I'm streaming videos just fine. Just uploading is the bitch in there, which well, it's for free.
It's free, and that's what's going to happen with free. It doesn't matter if you go to McDonald's or the fucking public library. It's going to be the same.
Yeah,
but
our public tax dollars.
Yes, I know.
So right before the episode, we kind of went back and said, whatever fucking happened to Oscar. And, and I actually counted Oscar, over the course of a year and a half or whatever, because it was since or even longer than that. I think ever since we established an email address, he's been writing us. And I've counted 36 emails of the 40 episodes that we've done.
Yeah.
36, and once again, I'm so fucking concerned on what's going on with him. So
I
once,
mean, is he pissed? Is he dead? Like, what the hell's going on?
I mean, I'm assuming we've told him several times to contact the show. So if you are like anywhere near like Oscar, anywhere, any kind of internet connection, just reach out to us. You know the deal. twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. And don't try to troll me because I have Oscar's real email, so it's not like you can say, "Oh, this is Oscar," and I'm writing you from something else.
That would be Darrell.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Pistol Packing Urkel, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
Also, I mean, I don't know if you want, this is kind of, it's nerdy news, but it's not really. The very first interview that we recorded for the Toonami Faithful podcast, ToonamiFaithful.com. If you're hearing this right now, it's officially been out. I mean, I was literally here in your house when you put it out. So go to youtube.com, search for Logic, Steve Bloom, Toonami Faithful.
or better yet, you can put in youtube.com/Toonami Faithful channel.
Oh, yeah. Durr.
And then it will come up. There's another way to do it too, but that I actually was able to make a custom URL, thank God. And so it's youtube.com/Toonami Faithful channel. You can get that interview and the rest of them that are going to be coming up. You get to see Chris's wonderful bald head and his beard.
Yeah.
His well-groomed beard that he keeps filling up as he's doing this podcast.
Yeah, I can't help it. This is the beard of a religious fanatic. This is the beard of a person that, very contemplative, and it's very relaxed. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do.
And he wonders why I'm going to lock him in the basement.
And it's like, part of me wants to cut it. Part of me wants to cut it because it's like, okay, it's getting a little annoying, and I know people, or should I say women, don't generally like it, and, it's going to be hard to find, like, a girlfriend with a fucking, looks like I have a squirrel attached to my chin. But, the other part...
Wait, what's going on with the woman's situation here?
I'd rather not go into full details, but I'm still officially single. I've gone out on a date, but I mean, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to jinx it, or also I don't want to put out my information. I mean, I guess enough of the press. My press release would be that yes, I've gone out on one date, and this was, and honestly, this was over a month ago, and her and I are still kind of talking. It's just sort of like without having money, I feel like an asshole. Like, I can't take her out. I mean, yeah, you could do, it's so romantic, go for a walk by a lake. But, I mean, I don't want to be that fucking guy, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's better. Honestly, like, the better dates to have are the ones that you actually sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, you're the guy, you want to fucking pay for the date, blah, blah, blah. But, you know what? Hey, you sit there and you tell the girl, hey, look, I'm fucking broke. Yeah. let's go and talk and, sit down and get to know each other a little bit more.
I mean, and she's seen my Facebook page and stuff like that. So I think once you've seen that fucking side of me, and you see, I fucking write about the most ridiculous shit, and I write about fucking Transformers and fucking Back to the Future and fucking Comic-Con and all that shit. If that hasn't scared you away, I mean, I guess that's a good sign. I guess, whatever. I don't, and once again, I don't know. I could be totally in the fucking dark. She'd be like, "No, I'm not giving you any fucking play, motherfucker."
So, like, tomorrow she'll be like, "You ain't got shit on me."
Yeah, forever single. But I mean, like I said, I do understand that this beard is not exactly the most attractive thing in the world. So, you kind of have to like, I kind of want to shave it. I don't want to shave it. I think it's becoming part of my persona. Like if I, or like my look.
Did you scare Steve Bloom when you came up to him with that?
No, well, I mean, that's the whole thing, is that people are going to remember the fat, bald guy with the fucking, with the ZZ Top beard. I mean, I stick out in a fucking crowd, and it's like part of doing the podcast is sort of like, and once again, I've been doing the Stranger Vlogs, is, you got to build your brand, and building your brand sort of sometimes means, having a unique look. And hey, this goatee's been good. I've been growing this goatee's been with me through 2 Comic-Cons. It's been with me through TV. It's been with me when I got my custody of my daughter back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of, I think if I cut it off, it might be bad luck. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know about you.
I mean, look, a couple months ago, I cleaned my pipes. I mean,
and then she's gonna hear that and be like, "Oh, I see what this is."
Well, no, I'm just saying is that if that other girl didn't fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Not follow the rules or whatever. I mean, I had basically said that, one of my one of the things that I feel as I look for in a partner is someone that will, if I say the sky is purple, the partner will say yes, and what a lovely shade of purple it is. Behind closed doors, feel free to fucking tell me how fucking wrong I am, but in public, you say yes. And so, the last person I saw didn't abide by those rules, and I can't see myself being in a long-term relationship with someone like that because, and it's, I understand there's women out there, there's guys out there who are like, happy wife, happy life. And I get that, saying, but, let me live in my own little bullshit world, what I'm saying? If I'm talking about like dumb shit, obviously if I'm saying like some real radical shit, and I'm not talking about like beating women or fucking war in Darfur or whatever, but if I'm talking the useless shit that, it's not useless to me, but it's supercilious, it's nonsense, right. But just don't fucking contradict me. Or sometimes, even if it is something that appears silly, if I'm mentioning it, I'm only mentioning it because it's important to me. And so just go along with the program. And unfortunately, the last girl didn't go along with the program. And I can't see, it's better that we break up now than me to drag this on for fucking, let's just say I drag it on for 2-3 years or whatever, and then, years down the line, I fucking blow up and like, oh, fuck, you never supported me and you never backed me up.
Well, see, but I think, like I told you before, and we won't go into this because we've had this conversation before. I think you need to look. If we're looking to get your pipes cleaned,
oh,
maybe you should bring it down just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm saying if I was looking to just get my pipes clean, fucking just get a whore. You know what I'm saying? I'm too broke for a whore.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have to
have money. Get a fucking 500-pound girl with low self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? But
see, I broke the rule now. I had my phone on. Oops.
Yeah. I'm just saying. But I'm not. I am kind of looking for someone that's a little more, in the vein of being in a relationship, and can understand that. Hey, sometimes I'm gonna be fucking broke, and sometimes I'm gonna post about Transformers.
Well, let me put it to you this way. Me and Kelsey kind of have this thing where I say, look, I have this going on. I have ToonamiFable.com. I have all this stuff. I've built it. I have made this huge fan site that nobody can touch. Mm-hmm. I'm going to continue this empire, so to speak. Because I kind of feel like, and I don't want people to sit there and take this on the internet and go like 500 miles an hour with this, so to speak. But like, I consider ToonamiFable.com the NFL, the WWE of fan sites for Toonami. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've built this with hard work, and Jose is at CNN now. Mm-hmm. He was with us. He met the One Piece podcast through us. He was able to meet the Toonami crew because of what we did together. I learned from him. I learned a lot of stuff from him, and I appreciate everything that he did. Mm-hmm. And I want that to be on the record because I think a lot of people think that I don't like Jose, and I do. There are some things that I don't like about Jose, and that's the way it is. I sometimes think of him as like the annoying brother that tries to, but, and that's all it is. He's sometimes like you want to like strangle him, and other times you're just like, I love you, man. But what I'm trying to say is like, I was able to build this website and able to, create this, take something out of my head and actually do something with it to where it's on AdultSwim.com. I consider myself one of the sites of, that's out there. Obviously there's Toonami Digital Arsenal. That's like the library of all the Toonami stuff. But, that being said, what I'm trying to say here is, she knows. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's a priority in my life. I make time for that because that is important to me. Mm-hmm. This nerdcore thing, if it takes off, and who I'm working with, and we'll get to that at some point down the line, mm-hmm. I'm hoping using this person, I'm going to do something with this and actually, do something beneficial because, don't get me wrong, I like doing the Toonami thing, and I like doing this, but, I want to turn all of this into something where it's a money flow, because I enjoy doing this, but I want to make money off of it, too, and I don't want to, with the Toonami thing, yeah, when I ask for money, it's because we need the money. We need the money to do things, because I'm broke. I'm fucking broke. Mm-hmm.
Is it, look what happened to me?
I can't even fucking, dude, we can't even go out and eat like a fucking dinner because we got to make sure bills are paid. I'm not like dying. I'm not gonna like. I don't have $0 in my account, but you know, I don't have thousands of dollars where I can pay for 2 hotel rooms, a camera, and a whole crew to make sure that everything gets done professionally. That doesn't happen. I'm sorry. Fan sites don't get that. And that's why, like, I take those donations and I do use those. Sketch has seen me do it. We've all benefited from those donations and we've used them the appropriate way, you know? But what I'm saying is I want to make this for me, at least the Nerdcore thing, not the Toonami thing, but the Nerdcore thing, like an important thing. And you know, I want it to benefit her. So, and that's the give and take of a relationship is you should be able to, you know, do that, do something you love, and then also be able to provide for your family too. And that's what I'm trying to get to. And I'm hoping to do that. And I'm hoping people understand that because sometimes there's this like line that people think I cross, and they think that all these Patreon funds that I'm making are going to like we joke about it, but like Darrell's beer fund or you know, like Chris's Alcoholic Anonymous whatever fund, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's very easy for someone to go, why don't you grow the fuck up, get a real fucking job?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's like, well, don't you understand the hours that I put into the podcast? You know,
Right.
You know, and I've kind of, you know, I've kind of had that said to me. Why don't you get a real fucking job? I mean, I do have a job, but I mean, like, why do you waste so much time on this podcast? And it's like, because I'm trying to make it legitimate. I'm trying to make
Right.
I'm trying to make it a presence on YouTube. I'm trying to make it a presence on Facebook. With that, you know, because once you have the numbers, once you grind, you have the numbers, then you can get advertising and say, look,
Yeah.
this podcast plays to X amount of people and X amount of demographics,
Right.
and you know, I don't give a fuck if it's Dawn hand soap, like Dawn fucking dish detergent, or fucking Audible.com or fucking
Right.
Red Bull. You know, someone throw us a couple bucks, because if I can make a show entertaining enough to reach X amount of people, then the advertisers, it only benefits them.
Right.
To kind of come on the show.
And it's like, you know, I'll give you a perfect example. Like Sentai Filmworks right now. They tweeted out that, and they do this with The Comic Got Killed too, that you can watch episodes of it about a couple days after it's played on Toonami on Amazon.com somewhere. I don't know where it is. I think it's just Amazon.com, and you can just search for it and find it. But anyways, they tweeted out to us at another site, and you know, that other site happens to be affiliated with us because we. You know, they do post a lot of our stuff, and if I need them to post something, I say, hey, you know, can you post this for me? You know, or do you mind, like, upping it so that it's up there so that people see this? They don't have a problem doing that. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you get recognized. Like, the Toonami Fable podcast is still sponsored by AkaiCon. You know, the reason that we're sponsored is because we're a recognized brand that does something right. And yes, we do have the Toonami name in our thing, but also that money is not just being used to go buy alcohol down at the local pub. It's being used to pay for the
server space. That shit ain't free.
yeah, and it's paying for the year subscription of SoundCloud. And I've been very public about that, and that's what it does. And you know, again, that's where people come in and they say, well, what about the other money that you're making? Well, that's the other money is to pay for, let's say all of a sudden they decide, well, fuck you, we're not going to sponsor you anymore. That pays for a year of the podcast. That pays for the website. Because the thing is like, this shit isn't cheap. You know that. It came right out of your account when you were in New York Comic Con, like you said last episode. So, I mean, you know, I think what is good about what you need to find, Chris, is you need to find a girl. First of all, you need to find a nerdy girl. That's number one. Number one, you got to find a nerdy girl. Number two, you got to find a girl that understands that, you know, this is a passion. You know, this is what you do, and you're going to continue to do it. And, you know, it's nothing against her, but this is something that you use to not only, what's the word I'm looking for? Depress or, well, we say podcast therapy, but like, I guess counsel yourself.
Doing the podcast gives me something to do. It gives me,
Right.
you know, if I just sat there all day, every day, and just sat there and go, I'm just going to watch TV all day, or I'm just
Right.
going to play video games. If I'm going to keep, like, to use Kevin Smith's words, to go out and be entertaining instead of just being entertained. If I spend my
Right.
entire life just being entertained, I'd put a fucking bullet in my skull. You know, doing this podcast makes me feel like I'm creating something and doing something. And so,
Right.
you know, and then like going to Comic-Con and doing what we did, you know, and
This was probably the best year that you guys had at New York Comic Con.
oh yeah, so far, and
And it's kind of funny because there was year 1 where it was just Matt, then it was year 2 it was you and Matt, and now we're on year 3, and you guys had 5 different interviews. I mean, that's the most that we've had out of New York Comic Con. And folks, it's really hard to get fucking interviews.
Yeah, let me tell you, because, and we'll talk about this the second half of the show, New York Comic Con was 161,000 people. You know, okay, you take that and you divide it by 4 days and whatever the case may be. And of course, keep in mind that a lot of those people returned every day. Try to do an interview with someone in a room. Let's just say even if you split it up into 4 days and you had 40,000 people in a room in a convention center. Try to do an interview with somebody in a convention center, especially interview with somebody who is a fan favorite.
Right.
You know, while fans are walking by, people want to talk to them. Press guys, PR guys. You know, the agenda that they already had in plan. You know, before even and it's a lot of stuff. And don't be wrong, everyone was fucking awesome, and we were everything. You know, all the pieces of the puzzle fell into place. Thank goodness. But a lot could have went wrong, and thank God didn't. And it's a juggling act, and did I have fun? Yeah, but I was working.
I need to say this one more time, and I probably will say this a couple more times. But thank you to Funimation, because Funimation made this very possible for us this year, because they did. I mean, obviously with George and Sky Blue, that was something different. And I started the conversation, you finished it, and you met up with George, and boom, that was all set. And bastard, you have his fucking phone number, you son of a bitch. But anyways,
and also a shout out to Eric Calderon, also with George Christie.
It's when you can make contact, it's so much easier. But Funimation made it so that we could get Steve Blum, and some people might be like, well, Steve Blum's never done the Funimation thing. Funimation hosted Logic at their booth. Obviously, because I knew that, and I knew that information, I went directly to the same person I talked to get Justin Rojas and the guys from DBZ Resurrection F. And hey, we were able because of them, and again, I say, I'm not trying to suck up to Funimation, but
so cool. It was so cool. And also, I think I mentioned this last episode, but Justin Rojas and part of Funimation, they do a show called Double Talk, but it's DUBBLE, like dub, like anime dubs, Double Talk, and it's on the Twitch. Twitch is kind of doing its best to kind of take on YouTube, and so I'll be honest with you, I've only watched 3 episodes, but it is entertaining, and this is coming from someone who's not an anime fan. Right. It's an entertaining show just to watch, and of course, hearing them talk about anime kind of it makes me want to go out and okay, maybe I should check out, You know
what? We should just put on as one of your personal ads. Nerd needs nerd to clean the pipes. Yes, there we go. But anyways, let's go to commercial. And
speaking of cleaning pipes, we'll be back with more dick and fart jokes.
I hope.
This episode of Two Strangers, One Podcast is brought to you by Comics Etc., 1115 East Main and North Goodman at the Hungerford Building, door number 8. Find out more information at comicsetc.biz or like them on Facebook at facebook.com/comicsetc1.
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. Pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-n-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now for listeners of Two Strangers, One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase.
And we're back. Okay, Paul, so I think the first part of the show kind of went a little longer than we planned, but that's okay because we have a lot of stuff, but I think we kind of banked this pretty fast.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we're recording this. It's almost midnight.
Yeah, and I can actually talk about this because, well, I work at a movie theater, so Back to the Future Day is tomorrow. And as part of Back to the Future Day, they're playing the whole trilogy at, I think it's a lot of the theaters, and probably some of the independent ones don't have it, but all the big chains have it. Basically, they're playing Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3, from as far as I know. And, you know, if you guys want to be a part of that, which you probably, you know, by the time this podcast comes out, it'll be over with, but, you know, if you guys are part of it, we'd like to hear from you and let us know what you thought of the trilogy and whatnot. Again, the email is twostrangersonePodcast@gmail.com.
twostrangersonePodcast@gmail.com. And, you know, it's funny, like a movie like that, I mean, you know, obviously I've seen a million times on TV. And you know, I think when I was a kid, I saw part 2 in the theaters. I believe I may have even seen 3 in the theaters. But just the fact when you go to a thing like that and you hang out with other fans of the stuff, and obviously there's crossover there where like, oh, you like this and you like this, you know, I like this and I like this, I like anime and I like Transformers and I like this. So, you know, yeah, you are going for the movies, but sometimes it's more of the community of the whole thing.
Right.
But it is going to be Back to the Future Day, and then one thing I've seen a lot on my timeline, which, you know, it blew my mind, is that, you know, after tomorrow, the future will be the past.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
You know, after, you know, we're like when we were talking about, and of course that's like every movie. Like when we talk about Terminator 2, and they said, oh, in the year 1997, Judgment Day, you know, Terminator 2, you know,
that was a long time
or you know, in the Transformers movie, the original animated cartoon one, you know, in the year 2005. It's like we're fucking 10 years past that, brother.
Yeah. You know, and we'll talk about this just real quick. You know, it's kind of interesting to look back on what those movies said was going to happen, and actually some of that stuff is happening. And you know, right now, and it hasn't happened yet, but the Chicago Cubs could be actually going to the World Series.
What a fucking coincidence that! And we're recording this tonight, and let me see. As of right now, it's the Mets and the Cubs are playing for. You know, to whoever wins this series, I guess, goes to the World Series. But as of right now, the funny thing is, I'm sort of stuck in the middle. It's still 2-1, the Mets. Game 3, live on CBS tonight. Now, 2-3 with the Mets leading, if I'm reading this correctly. And so now, of course, you're wearing a Yankees cap. Yeah. And my grandfather was buried in a Yankees cap. I mean, my family are Yankee fans.
Right.
My friends are Mets fans. So, of course, you know, there's a lot of people who say, well, you know, if you're, you know, they feel that there's absolutely no crossover and you can only like one and you can't like the other. And I mean, part of me, just as a New Yorker, and find, you know, I'm not some bandwagon jumper, but, you know, part of me was just saying, look, you know, I would originally, I guess, would say I'm a Yankee fan, but if the Yankees aren't going to make it, at least the Mets can get a shot. So, so either whoever wins, I'm cool with, because if the Mets win, then, you know, then my friends will be happy, because, you know, I have friends who've been fiending since 1986 for the Mets to win a World Series, right. You know, and then but if the Cubs win, I mean, you know, or at least the Cubs, even if they take, you know, this series, you know, just the nerd in me is so happy, like, you know, I should have went and bet on the Cubbies. So it's so funny how real life, you know, and, you know, they were smart enough to do Pepsi Perfect, even though, and I agree with Matt. Matt and I were talking about this at Comic-Con, because they were giving out bottles of, not giving out, you had to win them and stuff like that, and they were doing all types of challenges. But, you know, friend of the show, John J. Galbo, he got, and it's, of all the people in the world to get one, John J. Galbo was the guy to get one, because he is the number one Back to the Future fan. Like, if anybody was to get one, I'm glad he did. But you know, they had the Pepsi Perfects, and the, you know, so that was, you know, and I kind of wanted, but actually I came across the site, and what they did was someone did actually crack one open and drink it. And they said, if you look at the ingredients, it is the same ingredients you see when you see Pepsi that's bottled in Mexico.
Ooh.
where they don't use high fructose syrup. It's pure sugar as opposed to high fructose syrup, which some people would say is actually healthier than, but they said, other than that, they said the ingredients are identical to the bottled Pepsi that, yes, you can technically get in the United States, but you're more likely to get in Mexico. So not that that's a bad thing, but that's what the ingredients of Pepsi Perfect are. But I would think, like, they would have had people develop this, you know, okay, look, it's caffeine free and it's sugar free, and, you know, maybe some sort of version of Pepsi Perfect. So that's all fine and well. Now today, Now, I part of me wanted to save this to tonight when we were recording this so we could kind of do like a reaction. But then the other part, I couldn't fucking wait. The Star Wars final trailer for the movie,
Right.
which I know they say final trailer. That doesn't mean I think this is like the final movie trailer because I'm pretty sure we're going to see it on TV and we're going to see variations of it. And I'm pretty sure they'll probably even put out another variation of the trailer like after the movie. Because it's like sometimes the trailer after the movie comes out, they'll put out a one that shows a bit more or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So, I mean, this is the last one where we're still speculating. We still have no fucking idea what's going on.
And we still want to know where the fuck Luke Skywalker is.
And surprisingly, the one in this new trailer, the only bit of Luke Skywalker is what we've seen already, where his hand what we're assuming is his hand reaching out and touching R2-D2, the robotic metal hand. So, and they released the movie poster the other day. No fucking Luke Skywalker. I was watching videos about this. They said that the new poster for the new movie has 13 characters on it, none of which are Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You got Finn, and you got Rey, and you got Han, and you got Leia, and you got Chewbacca, and BB-8, and C-3PO, and R2-D2, and Captain Phasma, and Rilo Ken, or Kylo Ren, whatever the fuck his name is, and all this, and not fucking Luke Skywalker. And it's blowing my mind that, obviously, he's such even people in fucking third world countries know who Luke Skywalker is. They don't have to put him on the fucking poster. But one of the things that blew my mind is they're calling this thing the Star Killer base. It's like a third fucking
killer.
Star Killer. It's called Star Killer Base. But it's supposed. I mean, like Jesus Christ, how many fucking Death Stars do we need? Because this is sort of like a variation. Now I'm getting two different. I'm getting two different conflicting stories. I'm getting one story saying that it's a third Death Star. The other story is saying that it is actually a thing that's built into a planet. It's like they built the base into the planet. Which is weird, but I mean, at least it's kind of different than making another fucking Death Star.
And again, we'll see what happens. But that would, that kind of makes sense because if you've seen this new trailer, it seems like I can't think. I want to say it the right way, but it's eluding me what his real name.
Kylo Ren or Rilo Ken? Or no,
something like that.
No, it's Kylo Ren because I think of Ren and Stimpy. I always think of Ren and Stimpy. Kylo Ren.
He has Darth Vader's burnt mask.
Yeah,
and he seems to be like worshiping it. And
he says something to the effect that I'm going to continue your legacy, or I'm going to finish what you started, or I forgot exactly how he words.
What you started is what he said, and I'm like, okay, so. And I'm assuming if they're following what a lot of the books named the Empire as, I'm assuming in this the Empire is not called the Empire anymore; it's called the Remnant. So we'll have to see what happens, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out because we have that now. You have Luke Skywalker, and here's another interesting part about this, Chris, too. A lot of the games and a lot of the books, have Luke Skywalker starting a new Jedi Order. Where the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm jumping a little bit ahead here, but and maybe we will see Jedi in this. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're hiding those too.
Well, that's because obviously in these movies. Well, I mean, if you go back to the prequels, all the Jedi were slaughtered. Right. Except for somehow Luke. Darth Vader had Luke in secret, and technically Leia in secret. Leia is still a prime candidate to be a Jedi. Let's not forget that.
Right.
But all the speculation is all the Jedis all the recorded Jedis have been slaughtered or off the records. But that doesn't mean that people don't just automatically end up with force powers. People. So all the fingers are pointing at the Finn character, the one by Michael Boyega.
Yeah.
They're saying that he is going to be a force sensitive character. He's carrying Luke Skywalker, and I say force sensitive because you can't say he's going to be good. Right now can, of course, yes, he's carrying Luke Skywalker. He appears to be the star of the movie.
And by the way, we don't. And I know there's been this rumor out there about the lightsaber being Anakin Skywalker's. We don't know that. Okay, I know a lot of people have speculated that, and somehow because if you remember in Empire Strikes Back when Darth Vader cuts off Luke's hand, it just falls into wherever in the bottom of Cloud City. It's okay, fine, yeah. Maybe they somehow he got it back and blah blah blah. But here's the thing, like at this point, none of these trailers have really given anything away.
Yeah, until people aren't going to know anything until they release the novelization of the books.
And you know, the gist of what I'm getting, and I'm only going to speculate, and you know, we'll move on here because we really should move on because we got some other stuff.
I got like 2 or 3 things before we go on for the Star Wars.
But here's the thing, like, we know that the Empire is on the outs, okay? Mm-hmm. We know that there's going to be a new evil force that's going to come in and try to, you know, reinvigorate the old Empire, which will probably be called the Remnant, hopefully. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we'll see where that goes. But we have to... I'm going to assume that there's been some kind of peace in between what happened in... which is now Episode 6. It was Episode 3 before they did the new trilogy. Mm-hmm. And hopefully we get to see something involved in that. And somebody else had speculated, too, that... and I don't know where this came from, but, like, Hayden Christensen might be back, too, to do, like, that, you know, thing, and he'll be, like, guiding Luke Skywalker or something. I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah, well, not because what I had speculated that I think Hayden Christensen, it would make sense if they brought him back. If he came back, he would be a Force ghost, because now that Anakin technically the moment before he died turned good, which you do see his ghost at the end of part 6. Part 6.
Yeah.
It is totally in the realm of possibility for him to be in Episode 7, technically. Right.
So
now, but the other rumors were going on was that they were talking about him being connected to the movie, also being set up with the trainer, and we're like, what do you mean? Like someone to get him back into shape, or at least fighting shape, or Jedi fighting shape. That's the whole thing right now. The speculation is that when they said, you know, he's hooking up with the trainer, and the trainer was provided by the studio or whatever, you know. So it's like, are we gonna see fucking Darth Vader action or Anakin Skywalker action in the movie? You know, maybe I mean, of course, it would be a flashback. I'm 99% sure it would be a flashback and not anything else.
Well, yeah, and we'll get to see what's gonna happen here, but
and also, well, not to. I think what you would have to do is you kind of have to give the people who've never seen an episode of Clone Wars, never seen an episode of Rebels, you kind of have to give them an Anakin Skywalker Clone Wars flashback. Well, in my opinion.
And here's the thing, too, and it's interesting because the whole Clone Wars animated series and now Rebels is quote unquote canon.
Canon, yeah.
So now, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how, for example, his Padawan that he had, Anakin Skywalker's, Ahsoka. It's going to be really interesting to see because that's coming up here. She goes to face him. And it's going to be interesting to see like how that plays out. I mean, obviously she's going to die. I mean,
I wouldn't. Don't put it out of the realm of possibility that she shows up in these fucking movies. That they get a live action version of her.
It could. I don't. Here's what I'm going to say. With Rebels being the way it is, and it could come out before that you know she does somehow live still. You know. Maybe she's in this movie, but I don't think she's in this movie. I think it would be like down the road. She might be some like old Jedi that's like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, because she would be younger than Obi-Wan, but obviously older than Luke. So I'm just saying, it's very easy to find an attractive actress, slap some fucking orange makeup on her,
right?
And make her older. And even, I mean, how fucking awesome would it be, Ahsoka meeting Luke? I was your father's Padawan. Are you fucking kidding me? That would be so fucking awesome. You know, I mean, you know, your dad was my teacher.
Well,
Let me teach you.
I do think that they need to make that connection in a live action way with Clone Wars and the animated series. But we're going a little too far off. Let me just say this. Like, I'm looking forward to the movie. I do want to. I'm really hoping that the Jedi Order is somewhere in here because, I mean, again, and I know they probably came up with their own new story and whatever, but a lot of the books had, when this ended, the Jedi Order was restarted. Mm-hmm. A lot of the games had the Jedi
Academy,
everything else like this. I mean, and maybe it did happen, and this is years after, and, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. The problem right now is Disney has not revealed a lot. I as much as I hate that, and as much as I want to choke them to death, I really appreciate the fact that they didn't do it, because now everybody's going to want to come and see this. And the problem is if this is a fucking piece of shit, which it could be, I'm not saying it will.
There's a slight possibility, but I mean, that trailer just got my fucking dick hard, man. I mean, it's like, yeah,
but let me play devil's advocate here, okay? We've had like,
so did the trailer for episode 1 got my dick hard too. So
there you go. Well, and think about this, Weatherman with was it Weatherman? No, it wasn't Weatherman. Anchorman with Will Ferrell. The trailer for the first one made it out to be the greatest thing on earth. When you actually saw it, none of those scenes were actually in the movie. And, well, there was a little bit of that.
Yeah, we do live in an age where trailers have scenes that aren't in the fucking movie.
And you know, even like Jason Marco, who is the person that runs Toonami and the co-creator of Toonami, you know, he's still skeptical too. And I you know, I'm skeptical. I want to see how this is going to turn out. And by the way, I feel really bad for Hunger Games right now. This has set a record. As of tonight, it's set a record for pre-sales. And Hunger Games hasn't... Let me tell you, folks. Let me tell you something. Hunger Games comes out November 20th. There's not a lot of pre-orders for Hunger Games in November 20th. This doesn't come out until December 18th. Probably December 17th, there's going to be some shows at night. So... I really feel... don't be surprised. I'm just going to say this. Don't be surprised if you see a lot of Hunger Games commercials starting to come out, like getting thrown at you, because guess what? They're going to want to get in on this action too, and they're going to want to get their tickets too. And don't worry. A lot of people are going to go to Hunger Games. I don't see that being, wrong.
They'll have a good 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right, and then fucking just get decimated by Star Wars.
and Star Wars will destroy it.
But you know what it is? They'll be a solid second. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no.
Star Wars will be
Jurassic Park is probably going to be second. And you know what?
Not in a year. No, not in a year. I'm just saying, like, the week Star Wars comes out, Hunger Games will be a solid 2, like where their numbers will probably still stay well, but just I think Star Wars is just gonna fucking rocket past.
And I think Hunger Games will probably be there through Christmas anyways, because, you know, some people won't even have seen it yet. So hopefully, you know, I'm hoping that it's going to be a good year for movie theaters, and so far it has. I mean, there's been some shit. Oh, you know what we should talk about, speaking of that real quick, because I know you got some other stuff, but for a lot of people that don't know, the new Paranormal Activity, and I don't remember what the full name of it is.
Ghost Dimension? Or something to that effect? Yeah.
Okay, so the studio, I don't think it was last week, all of a sudden pulled out of their hat, by the way, 2 weeks after it's released, we're going to put it on video on demand.
Ugh.
And what that automatically did is Regal pulled out and Cinemark pulled out and said, fuck you, we're not playing your movie. And now it's only playing at AMC theaters, and it's only playing at some
local independent.
Local independent. Not all of them are playing it. But there again, you know, Paranormal Activity kind of played out anyways. So I don't understand why.
4 or 5?
I think it's 5.
Okay.
What I heard. And the last one didn't do that well anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't foresee this doing well either. I think it was a good move either way, because
the only gimmick for this one is that the ghosts, only the girl can see the ghosts, and only the camera can see the ghosts.
And it's all CGI, so it's going to look terrible.
Yeah, when before it was like doors magically slamming and stuff that. And the house shaking and lights going back and on and off. This is, the girl can see it and the camera can see it.
Let me put it to you this way. Steve Jobs is coming out this week. There's going to be a lot of seniors going to see that movie, so that's going to blow. They would have blown that out of the water right there. And then there's a couple. God, what else was there? Oh, that Gem and the Holograms. I don't think that's going to do well, but you know it could do okay to where it beats out that anyway. So you know, again. Is it a loss? No, but you movie studios have to understand, if you're going to try to put something on video on demand, don't sneak it in at the last minute, because the movie companies that play your movies are going to find out, and they're going to go, fuck you, we're not playing your movie.
Yeah, we'll put, you know, I don't know, whoever's number 1 this week, you know, we'll put an extra theater that has, you know, what's number 1 this week? I don't know. You know, we'll put fucking Tom Cruise, we'll put Mission Impossible in there instead. At least Mission Impossible has been good to us for the past couple months.
Right.
Okay, so the shit, I totally lost my train of thought with the Star Wars stuff. But just the pre-orders. And the good thing about pre-orders is that the movie theaters already know that's money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? That's not counting the rest of the fucking hordes of people that are going to show up eventually just to see what the fuck's going on. Now, I guess you came across the question online. People were saying Jurassic Park versus Star Wars. Who's going to own fucking 2015? Yeah. You know, now don't get me wrong. I'll give Jurassic Park every ounce of respect that it deserves, and it deserves tons of respect and has a good lineage behind it. But come on, this is fucking Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars, you know, Star Wars has a 20-year jump on the original movies.
Well,
so you're talking about generation wise, 91, you kind of have my generation from 91, but there's people older than me that love Star Wars.
Here's the question though, can Star Wars on December 31st, with all the money that it's made, beat out Jurassic Park for the year?
Oh, you're talking about 2 weeks. Unfortunately, that's going to be...
Because you got to remember, too, everybody's going to be seeing this within the next 2 weeks. And between, the 26th, you figure people have the 24th off. Schools have the 24th off through, whatever.
Oh, yes, winter break, yeah.
Yeah, winter break. So
after
you
the
figure
New Year,
everything's going to pick up then.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a good chance to beat out Jurassic Park through there.
And then you got international sales and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, Jurassic Park translates well, and Jurassic World translates into fucking other languages also, but...
And here's an issue that I know some of you are not going to like, and it's the fact that there's going to be a lot of 3D showtimes for this. Star Wars is going to win because it has a lot of 3D showtimes. And, that's Disney. Disney wants to make their money, and they want to do that. Obviously, by the time it gets to Christmas, there'll be more regular showtimes probably than 3D, but, they're looking to make their money, and that's going to make their money, so... Yeah,
all the extra $4 or $5 for the fucking... stupid glasses, but it is what it is. And I mean, that's a movie I trust J.J. Abrams and ILM to fucking give us a movie worthy of wearing the fucking ridiculous looking glasses.
Well, let's move on.
Okay, rapid fire stuff. Okay, first I mean, I haven't bought it yet, once again, because I'm broke. Transformers Devastation, out for all the major platforms. But I definitely, if you don't have a chance to buy the game, check out one of the announcers for the show, John Bailey. The voice of Honest Trailers. Check out his videos. Called his when he does video gaming videos, it's called Imitation Gaming. His name is John Bailey, JONBAILEY, and he did a great video for Transformers Devastation because he actually does old school Transformer voices. Like he imitates them very, very well. And I had sent George Christic a link to the video. I'm like, I'm hoping, please put John on the Transformers project. Come on, he deserves it. But that's just pure speculation. But check out John Bailey's quote unquote imitation gaming for Transformers Devastation. It's a great video only because one, just watching the game looks fucking awesome, and two, John Bailey does a fucking spot on Starscream, does a spot on Megatron, he does a spot on Optimus Prime. And even like Wheeljack and Bumblebee. Well, I think he doesn't do a great Bumblebee, but he's friends with the guy who does Bumblebee. So I think that's why he doesn't do it that much. And of course, if you listen to other nerdy podcasts, you've heard this news already. But I just wanted to bring it up. Hulk being in the next Thor movie, Thor number 3. Unfortunately, Thor 3, Ragnarok. Look, let's be real here. The Thor movies, of all the Avengers movies, has been the weakest link. It really has. They're good. But what I'm saying, when you're going against Captain America and Iron Man, the Thor movies have been kind of lackluster. As much as there's been tons of effort, I think it's a fantastic fucking idea. Now that we've had Hulk magically disappear at the end of the Avengers 2, right. Now that we're having Captain America 3 Civil War, the two characters that magically are missing are Thor and the Incredible Hulk. I think they just pulled this out of their ass. I don't think they were planning to have Hulk in Thor 3.
I think there's a demand for Hulk too, and
they're not going to do a solo movie because I think they owe Paramount a couple bucks if they're going to do or Columbia. They owe somebody. They owe some other studio a couple bucks if they do a solo Hulk movie. So throw him, and it's obviously Hulk could stand his own against, saying he punches the shit out of Thor in the Avengers. He fucking treats fucking Loki like a rag doll.
And by the way, they're in negotiations right now with what's his name to play Hulk again?
Mark Ruffalo.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's a brilliant fucking idea, and Mark Ruffalo would be an idiot for saying no, and I don't think he's not gonna say no.
No, I don't think he's gonna say no. I'm sure he's just trying to get more money. And you know what? Guess what? You're a major character in all these films, and it's making a lot of money. I would fucking sit there and negotiate too.
Give it to him.
Yes, just give him the money.
So I'm super psyched, and let's not mention that obviously if he's going to be in the Thor movie, he's going to be out in outer space. What if there was going to be a Planet Hulk movie? You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, that's just me purely fucking. At the end of this movie,
toying with the idea. Right
let's see what Hulk does in Thor. Right. But he's already going to be in outer space. So let's make a fucking Planet Hulk movie happen, people. Okay, and once again, this is old news if you listen to other podcasts. They've revealed that there is going to be an Ant-Man 2, and the coolest thing is that it's going to be named Ant-Man and the Wasp. Meaning that, obviously, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but I think anyone who's listened to the show already watched, they revealed the Wasp's costume at the end of Ant-Man, basically saying that Evangeline Lilly will take up the mantle of Wasp. But what a lot of people are speculating is why not, in a movie called Ant-Man and the Wasp, why not have flashbacks that go back to when Michael Douglas was the Ant-Man and his wife was the Wasp? Because if you already have flashbacks, you don't have to take off his helmet. You could just have Michael Douglas speak and, through the voice modulation of the helmet, so, okay, for the couple of scenes, maybe he takes his helmet off. They'll use that same CGI they used in Ant-Man 1 where they made Michael Douglas look younger.
Right.
You could totally use any fucking character you like for the wife. You bring in a whole new character, bringing back Agent Carter, bring back all the people from the 60s. You can totally, I'm super psyched for that. And like I said, I think my speculation, I agree with the internet speculation that about Michael Douglas's Ant-Man, and along with having Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly. And Evangelina Lilly just looks nice in tight pants. Speaking of Paul Rudd, I don't have all the details for it, but Titmouse, the same animation house that did, or technically Megas XLR, Venture Brothers, Metalocalypse, pretty much damn near every other show on fucking Adult Swim, they're going to put out a feature-length movie. Now, I don't know if they've announced if it's going to be in the theaters or if it's going to be straight to DVD. I mean, obviously, it's eventually going to come to Adult Swim, but they're doing an R-rated feature-length film, which they haven't announced any fucking details except for the fact that Paul Rudd's going to be the lead voice in it. So,
which is awesome.
Is awesome. And I think Paul Rudd is the kind of guy where I think when you do a movie with Paul Rudd, maybe he doesn't write, but he's going to improvise. And when he's in the studio, when these movies are made, they record the voiceover artists way before they do actual recording. And so, who knows? He may throw in some funny improvisations that will fucking make the movie even better. Titmouse has been known, if you watch Motor City, and you have a cannon that shoots limousines. Not that it shoots at limousines. No, it actually uses limousines as bullets. When you have a studio that does sick, crazy shit like that, an R-rated movie is just going to be off the fucking chain. And plus, animated R rating, you could get away with a hell of a lot more than you could in any kind of live action.
Right.
So once again, speaking of Titmouse, one of their major cartoons, Metalocalypse, Brendan Small, one of the big creator of Metalocalypse, has put out a campaign where you could go to, I forgot the site, petition. You could go to petition.org and you could sign where he's putting a petition out where you can petition to Titmouse and to Cartoon Network that you want Metalocalypse to come back. I had brought this up actually at the Moonbeam City panel where one of the guys from Moonbeam City is Tommy Blancha, the other major co-creator of fucking Metalocalypse.
Right.
And he looked at me like I got 10 fucking heads. He had no idea what's going on. Either that or he put on a good show because he doesn't want to talk about, he was there to speak about Moonbeam City, not Metalocalypse. But, Brendan Small is behind this campaign. And so you could go to Metalocalypse Now, just search Metalocalypse Now, or just search for metalocalypsepetition.org. And my last thing that I wanted to talk about was Warner Brothers and Dimension, if I'm not mistaken, those are the two companies behind it. There is going to be a Godzilla versus King Kong movie. I forgot exactly how they're wording it. I think it's Godzilla versus Kong. Just so there's no confusion. Just so there's no confusion with the older movies and legality wise. Right. It's going to be Godzilla versus Kong, which of course this is going to be a semi sequel to the original Godzilla, not the original, the Godzilla that came out 2-3 years ago or a year ago.
And there's going to be
a Skull Island movie, which is sort of like an origin story of King Kong.
Well, okay, so from what I read before, because this came out about a week or two ago, they had said that they're going to do Godzilla 2, and then they're going to do this King Kong movie, and then they're going to bring the two together. Mm-hmm. I think it's supposed to be out 2020, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, now there are a lot of people speculating because they're saying that the Godzilla from the movies right now is like fucking 10 times the size of King Kong if they were going to use the Peter Jackson, where the King Kong from like the Peter Jackson movies was 20 stories high or whatever. Like if he's hanging off the top of the Empire State Building, he's not as big as Empire State Building. Where Godzilla is fucking 100 stories high. So like or what roughly King Kong is like a fifth of the size of Godzilla. So they are either going to have King Kong be a lot bigger in these Skull Island movies, or they're gonna have to revamp it, because once again the movie's going from they're going from Skull Island to Kong versus Godzilla, so there's gonna be no King Kong proper where he's hanging off the Empire State Building. You know what I'm saying? That I think they did that on purpose, just so you don't have. It's not the Kong we know, but it is a fucking gigantic, violent ape or gorilla. I forgot which. I know if you say it the wrong one, that people get mad. I want to say it's an ape because it doesn't have a tail.
Whatever.
A big, giant, hairy, fucking primate that's pissed off. Okay, anything you want to throw in before we should wrap it up?
Oh no, let's wrap it up like she said.
That's what she said. Okay, visit twostrangersonepodcast.net, and please visit it because those cocksuckers build me just like Podomatic did. So
what about the YouTube page?
We'll get to that in a second. Visit twostrangersonepodcast.net, and you can find all the links for everything show related. You can find links to our iTunes. You could go back and listen to pretty podcasts. If you can't find those podcasts, you could actually go on our YouTube page and go to YouTube and search for Two Strangers One Podcast. I haven't hit that point yet where I could actually get a personalized URL, but I'm working. I think I'll be hitting that point soon. But right now, just go on YouTube and search for Two Strangers One Podcast. You can listen to old episodes there. I've actually turned them into video files. And I think what I like is my little personal thing is I've been making these things called Stranger Vlogs. I'm already up to like episode 23, and I have 24 on my computer right now that I have to finish editing. So you can check those out.
When do I get to do a Stranger Vlog?
Oh shit! We should have recorded. maybe we'll squeeze one out before I leave tonight. Well, the babies are sleeping right now. But so you can find out. And if you don't have an iPhone, an iPad, or an iPod, you can find us on the Stitcher app. That's STITCHER. The Stitcher app for Android devices. You can listen to all the podcasts worth listening to. Mark Maron, Adam Carolla, Kevin Smith, Chris Hardwick, and of course, Paul's other baby, the Tsunami Faithful podcast.
I'm jizzing in my pants as you say.
It's, and what I love about the Stitcher app, it's what I use. If you listen to this podcast and you know that I have to drive 6 hours from Rochester to New York City to go to New York Comic Con, I listen to podcasts all the way down. 6 hours, that's about 6 different episodes.
Hey, you could listen to that one almost 4-hour podcast that we did. Then I wasn't a part of that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually I was, but I wasn't part of the 3-hour one where they wanted to kill themselves. But
And what I like about the most about Stitcher is that you can use the option called Listen Later. So while you're in your Wi-Fi spot, like if you're a person like me, if you're in a Wi-Fi spot where you're at your public library, or if you're at McDonald's or Starbucks, download all the episodes you want to listen to and listen to them later while you're out and about. Doesn't kill your battery, doesn't kill your data plan. Let me see. If you want to write us, like unfortunately one of our biggest fans just went missing, you can write us on twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that's all spelled out, twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Let us know about things you want us to talk about. If you have any ideas for my Stranger vlog, I was going to reach out and see if people want me to do anything in particular, or do like an Ask FM or something like that, where people wanted to ask questions. Hit us up through twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. Facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast, all spelled out. Of course, we want your money. It would be great if you give us money, but if you don't have money to give us, it just takes 2 seconds to like our page. You could like any particular episodes. I've been uploading older episodes, which luckily it's been kind of getting a weird reach out there. I mean, our highest point was like at fucking 95,000. It was like ridiculous, but it just takes 2 seconds to like us, because even if you like us, it shows up in your timeline, and then your other friends go, oh, what the fuck is this? And then they check it out, and they share it, and they like it. So please, even if you don't have a dime to give us, just
share
like us.
Share it on Facebook, share it on
Twitter. And on Twitter, we are @Stranger Podcast. That's the @ symbol, Stranger Podcast.
And Chris has been good about putting stuff up there, thank God.
And I can't think of anything else. I acquiesce the floor to you, sir.
Took you long enough.
So you can follow me on Twitter @Paul Pascrillo. And of course, you can follow my Instagram. It's instagram.com/Paul Pascrillo. I posted a picture of and you have to see this for yourself. A tractor trailer truck had hit a
light
pole, and then started leaking oil. And you'll see the fire truck in the picture, and blah blah blah. Basically, people are idiots. So, and by the way, when I was leaving work today, because it was out back of my work, this idiot is unloading the truck, taking it to whatever place in the plaza behind us. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, you're going to get so fucked over. So, let's see. I have an ask.fm/Paul Pasquillo. Please ask me any questions that you have. Ask me questions that are Toonami related. Ask me questions that aren't Toonami related. I don't mind answering certain questions. Do not troll me, because if you troll me, I will delete you. I had people trolling me about, hey, what do you think about said Toonami fan site? I don't answer those questions, buddy. Sorry. Besides, I'm the WWE of Toonami sites.
Yeah. Don't ask us about the TNA of Toonami sites.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're talking to the WWE.
Yeah, I mean, look, okay, and out of all seriousness, I'm not gonna sit here and comment about other Toonami fan sites. I'm just concerned about my own, okay? And we're the leaders in this community, and we want to continue to be the leaders in the community. So in order to do that, I have to make sure the site runs, and that's why I don't really comment about that. I have agreed with Sketch on some of the things that he said, and, I joke about that we are the WWE of, whatever, but, in all seriousness, we work hard at what we do, and I'm only concerned about what we do. That's not a diss to anybody else, but that's the fact of the matter. So, as Chris said, you can check me out on the other podcast that I have, which is Toonami Faithful Podcast. You can find that on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Toonami Faithful Podcast. Chris will put our podcast on there at some point, hopefully, because it's going to be cheaper and in the long run for you, sir. And I think that's it. The only other thing I wanted to mention was I helped produce an album with Kadesh Flow and a producer by the name of Atlas. It's called We Are the Faithful. It's thematically based on One Piece. It's a very good album. It's getting very good reviews, and I want you guys to go out and get this album. Even if it's just one song. If you like one song or you like a couple songs off of it, download those songs. They're 99 cents on iTunes. All you got to do is search for Kadesh Flow and download a couple songs.
Kadesh Flow.
Space Flow. Yeah. And, you can find it on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Music. Also, you can stream it on Spotify. You can stream it on Rhapsody. And it's on a bunch of other applications worldwide. So if you're listening from a different country, how you doing? You can listen to it. You could probably have an app that it's on. Okay, I put it out through many apps so that many people can hear this album. But if you guys want something special, and I said this on the last podcast, and I will say this really quickly, Kadesh Flow has this special going on our Bandcamp page. It's bandcamp.com. It's geekyinkproductions.bandcamp.com. If you go there, you want to click on the We Are the Faithful album picture. Go there. If you get the whole album, it will release 2 bonus tracks to you for free. No additional charge, nothing on it. We can't charge for these tracks, to be honest with you, because there's some samples in them, and I'm being honest because we have to be honest. There's samples in them, so we're not going to charge for those. That's why it's not part of the album. So.
But they're still good tracks.
Yeah, they're still really good tracks. And if you want to hear those 2 bonus tracks, you can hear them on SoundCloud. It's soundcloud.com/geekyinkproductions. The whole 8-track CD's there. But again, it's only 6 tracks because those other 2 tracks we can't sell. So those 2 bonus tracks, if you want those, you got to buy the whole album on the Bandcamp page, and it's actually the cheapest there because it's only $5. So you're getting 8 tracks pretty much for $5. That's a pretty good deal. You know what I mean? So please go out and get it. I'm telling you right now, support Kadesh Flow. He wants to do more, bigger, and better things. He wants to go to more cons. He wants to meet a bunch of you guys. And in order to do that, he needs the money to do that. Help him out. Get the album. Tell your friends. Tell them to get the album because, supporting Nerdcore is going to move Nerdcore farther into this music industry, and we need to do that.
So we certainly hope you guys enjoyed listening and had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to 2 Strangers, 1 Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
Don't be a stranger.
Peace. We're out.
Right. You should be fapping
all over my pants.
Oh.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
Look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled Colon.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea, man.
Is.
Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show. I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. And if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it, that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his comic books, heavy metal, video games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I
and
will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonepodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.